Hey guys, what's going on here? So, this is episode 2 of my 14-gallon cube, and I'm just showing you a quick test I did. This is the day after I added everything into the tank. I went ahead and tested the parameters, and as you can see, everything is testing 0 with a pH around 8.4. So what does that mean? That means that nothing has happened in my tank in the last 24 hours. So, what am I doing? I'm going to cycle it with a bacteria in the bottle. Now, the reason I ultimately ended up deciding to do it this way instead of doing it naturally like I discussed in my previous video is because in the beginning of January I will be going on vacation. And to be frank, I don't want to have to worry about cycling a tank while I'm gone and getting anything else. I just want it to be good, ready to go, so I can add the fish that have been in quarantine for a while. Now, when you get this product, all you gotta do is you just pour it in the tank and you let it do its thing. It claims to have nitrifying bacteria. I really don't know. All I know is that every time I've used it, I've never had an issue with cycling a tank, and it always seems to work. Now, when you do add the product, the tank does get a little bit cloudy, and that dissipates after about an hour or so. Now, after the water cleared, I did go ahead and test it again. Everything was still testing 0, so I had some fish in quarantine. I've been dying to put them in a tank, so I went ahead and made the move. I would show you guys that in just a second, but as you can see, the tank is cleared up. The levels are 0. The pH has not changed. It's stable at 8.4 to 8.2-ish. API is kind of really tough to read, but I think it's a good, cheap kit to kind of give you a baseline measuring for your tanks. But other than that, the tank looks good, so it's time to get the fish that have been sitting in quarantine for the past 3 weeks and get them in the tank. Now, my stocking plans for this tank is 2 clowns. And as you can see, I do have some cupramine I've been treating these guys with. Because it's only a 5.5 gallon tank, I did 10 drops for the first 24 hours, and after 24 hours I added the next 10 drops. And I have been doing weekly 50% water changes and making sure that the copper level has been staying constant. These guys have been nice and healthy, and they have shown no signs of disease or ick. So it's time to add them to the tank, and you can see that process here in just a second. Now, one thing to note with cupramine is you do need to monitor the level of copper, because too high and it'll kill the fish, too low and it's not going to be effective in killing any diseases and parasites that you are looking to control. I will be setting up another quarantine tank in another video, but that's for another time. This is just a quick quarantine I set up. Now, these guys are really simple to catch. I just put a net in and they almost swim in. Not really, but you get the idea. Now, once you get them out of there, you pour them into the bag. I was using a little Cool Whip container because you don't need a whole lot of water for these guys. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be drip acclimating them to my 14-gallon reef tank. Now, what I like to do with drip acclimating is I don't go out and buy the fancy dripping procedure, the stuff you see at hospitals. I just get a piece of airline tubing, you suck on it, and you tie a knot. There's no simple way to describe it, but you do have to put your mouth on there to create any sort of siphon, because you can't really siphon it like a normal way, if that makes any sense. Sorry for my inability to speak right now, but yeah, once you get the siphon going, you tie a little knot. You can see I already got it pre-looped. I think that's the best way. So once you get the siphon going, all you got to do is pull it tight and let it drip. And now, this is a drip acclimation, so one thing you do is you don't want a steady stream of water. You want it dripping like that. I prefer a faster drip because I kind of like these, get this over with, and these guys are a lot more hardier than other fish, so they can handle a quicker drip acclimation process. Now, I do want to mention that these clowns, they're moving kind of fast right now, but I do have a phantom black ice clown and then just a regular black ice clown. These two were not a bonded pair, so I am hoping that eventually they'll pair up. I have seen some bickering and fighting back and forth in the tank, but hopefully they pair up and they'll make a beautiful pair of clowns in the near future once they mature and grow up. And once they're done drip acclimating them, you just toss them in the tank. It's as simple as that. Now, that's all I wanted to really do for this week's update. I know it wasn't that exciting, I just showed you what I did, but As always, I just want to thank you guys for watching and keep on reefing.